again though for UAMS. On this first page here, we have different buttons that will take us to the different tabs. We have interactive, plan data, dashboards. So we're going to go to interactive first. Here in the interactive page, we can see the nurse info. We have these different nurses, their seniority, their qualification, their hourly rate, and if they're cardiac care certified or not. We also have their availability. The red is obviously when they're not available, and we can go in and change this if we need. And we also have the different shifts for the different departments. So we have emergency, consultation, and cardiac care. So right now we have a maximum weekly hours for 48, and this is something that we can change if we need to, and we can see our total salary expense. So right now, this week we're spending $16,720 for our nurse salaries. And then on the right, you can see how many hours each nurse is working. And we also have it broken down by the different departments, the cost, and the number of nurses working in the emergency, consultation, and cardiac care departments. So we can go in and change these if we need. So right now we're going to change this to 56 hours. And when we click optimize, you'll notice that the salary will change, as well as the hours that each nurse works. So you can see that our total salary expense dropped and our nurse hours have changed. You'll notice that this dropped because we are now working the lower rate nurses longer than our higher rated nurses. But we can also go in and put some forced constraints where each nurse has to work 20 hours a week, but this is just a simple example. Right now, we are going to look at adding different nurses to our tables and how that's going to affect our numbers. Changes our schedule. Now we're going to change our hours from 56 to 40. So we're going to drop this down to 40, and we're going to optimize. Now you can see how these shifts are allocated again and how many hours each nurse is working. Looks like almost everyone's working 40 hours, and then we have Juliet working 32 and some working 0, and those will be your highest rated nurses working 0. And this will be to meet our salary budget for the week, as well as have the right care in the right places. We also have planned data here, and here we can just look at somebody's individual schedule. So we'll look at Bethany. Bethany is working these different shifts, and it looks like she's working about 8 hours, 5 times a week. So that's her 40 hours. You can break it down by day. So she's not working Monday, but on Tuesday she has 2 shifts. You can see that she's in cardiac care and consultation. And you can go through each of the nurses and see these different ones. We also have nurse information, and these are good insights to have. You can see the department-wise weekly payments. So emergency is getting the highest allocation of funds, the highest payments. And we also have department-wise nurse headcounts, and again, emergency room has the most headcounts. Below just shows the hours working for each nurse. Next, we're going to look at patient prediction. And here we have a time series analysis for patient prediction. And we can use this when we go back to our interactive tab to edit these min and max values. We are doing patient prediction to predict how many nurses we will need per patient and how much PPE is available. And that's where we get those min and max values. So we can see here the patient counts for the different days, consultation, cardiac care. And you can see this nice visualization here on the right. As we saw in previous tabs, the emergency room has more, it's taking a lot more money to run and a lot more nurses to run as well. Next, we're going to be looking at predictive forecast. And here we can see that we have Arkansas counties, and this predictive forecast is for different products, and you can run this for, say, PPE or ventilators or what have you. And then again, look at sales and operations planning optimization. So we have this overview here, the revenue, net income, and our operating costs. Again, we have this predictive forecast. We also have the demand forecast. And in here, if you thought that, on March 19th, we need to make some adjustments, we could do it manually in this tab. So the predictive forecast comes in here, and the demand forecast, you can go in and change that if you need. Capacity limits is the distributor limits, warehouse limits. You can see that here. We have production plan. We have income statement. You can see where the money is going. So we have our sales revenue, cost of materials, labor costs, different operating costs. We also can see the cash flow as well. Cash flow from the last period, payments in, payments out. We have a nice visualization down here to see the cash on hand and the cash flow. We also want to see facility revenue. Here again, we have this welcome page with the different interactive tabs and the different buttons. So if we want to go to the dashboard, we can see the dashboard, a nice breakdown of everything. Our net revenue is almost 800,000. Your number of beds is 3,200, and your average patients per day is 100. You could go in and see the different revenues for clinic, procedural, surgical, and so forth. You can also see the payroll benefits and the expenses, which will allow us to create this income statement. And we also can see the revenue drivers as well. What's driving our revenue? What's good? Next thing we're going to look at is hospital scorecarding. And this is a great feature of planning analytics. So here we have a strategy map. And with this map, we're looking at different KPIs. And when we make a change to the schedule, the scorecard will update automatically. You can also break it down by different measuring groups, operational excellence, people. We're going to go back, we're going to go to impact analysis. And this is a cause and effect diagram, and it's how the different KPIs interrelate with each other. We're going to change our measuring group back to total. We can see outpatient satisfaction. We can drill down to see what makes up these KPIs. You can click on these for more insights. So our number of appointments is poor. It looks like it's getting worse. Our outpatient satisfaction is excellent, but unfortunately, it's getting worse. So it allows you to see the performance of the hospital at a higher level. You can also get a KPI in a detailed view. And then we can go back, see the different actions. We can do an ad hoc analysis, and then we can see our tolerance. But that's the demo in a nutshell. Very easy, very simple.